What's up, everyone? Welcome to another fantastic Art of War tier list. Today is a Tuesday.
That means it's Tier List Tuesday.
It's my favorite Tuesday of the week.
And with all of the new rules that have just come out, I know what you want. You want a tier list about the new rules. You would like to know, hey, I have all these models sitting on my shelf. I'm a Space Marine connoisseur, as most of us are. I would like to know which of these I can and put on the table.
I think what they actually want to know is if they go to the local game store and they find an absolutely terrible unit on the shelf, how many of them do they need to buy before they go out of stock for the next 13 months? Yeah. Before
you see them on eBay at double price.
Double? Oh, I remember when we had double price Space Marines. You ever buy $200 Thunderfire cannon, Jack?
I've done similar things.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's bad.
So we are here today to rank the top 10 most improved Space Marine units in the game.
So the biggest delta between how they were and where they are now. So if there's a unit that was the worst unit in the game and now it's like, all right, pretty decent. That's going to do well. If there was a unit that was one of the best units in the game and it got a little better, probably won't make the list.
Yeah, no. So we're talking about just the most improved options. The one that you need to take another look at, because I think every unit here improved enough that you should really seriously take a peek at it. Like if you don't have it ready, you should take a look.
And for people in the chat who are thinking we're going to be ranking the Space Marine chapters, I think we can do that in a future video. I think that'd be very interesting.
I think that'll be coming soon. Today we are ranking Space Marine data sheets.
Absolutely.
We did have a couple of honorable mentions.
Yes,
we wanted to go through.
We always end up with more suggestions, like because John and I sit down and brainstorm the day before usually.
Absolutely.
And
sometimes the morning of.
Exactly. And so, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You just you're cracking under pressure here, Jack.
How does this Amish man know about Space Marines, John?
It's pretty easy, actually. They landed at my village and
I saw that
my
my train of thought immediately jumped the tracks and fell into a river.
Congratulations to the tallest gnome on Breaking Jack.
Yes. Where was I?
Honestly, buddy, you kind of started to word salad it, so you lost me too.
All right, let's just hop back in this. We always end up with more suggestions between John and I than a top 10 list can fill, but there's some that we still want to mention, so those are our honorable mentions, honorably being mentioned here. So why don't we start with...
Yeah, so honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is the absolutely cursed Skyclaw pack.
Jesus.
The Skyclaw pack probably should be in the top 10. I just don't want to acknowledge it. But I also am acknowledging it because
you mad, bro?
I am mad, bro. First of all, I am mad, bro.
You are pretty mad, bro.
It's the unit I hate talking about, but I also love to complain about. Like let's be all clear on this. So Skyclaws are Assault Marines, and Assault Marines are not on this list.
No,
because they didn't even improve. They didn't even change. They were like Assault Marines. They didn't even need armor contempt. Same points.
They were the OG Space Marine free war gear unit. I tried them out. I was super hot on them. I played them for one game. They did absolutely nothing between two units of them. And I immediately put them back on the shelf and was like, better luck next time, Chief.
Yeah, no, I wish they were there. But a Skyclaw is an Assault Marine with like just a couple little different things. It's +1 attack on the charge of your per Space Wolves, which is fine. You probably aren't going to be.
It's like the same as the Blood Angels, yeah.
Yeah, which is cute. But here's what happens is that instead of a free flamer, you can take a free melt-a-gun.
That's pretty good.
And then your sergeant can take a free combi melt-up.
That's
and then you can
good.
Toss a free power fist on that guy, which is something you could also do in the Assault Marine pack.
Interesting.
But we're now talking 3 meltas and a power fist instead of like a power fist and 2 flamers. Or a Thunderhammer and 2 flamers that a normal Assault Marine squad would have. So we're getting a little better. But then you can toss in a Wolfguard pack boy for 20 points. And this bad man also carries a Thunderhammer.
Bad lad.
This bad lad. And he also carries a Combi Melta. So we're now getting this unit up to the ripe old cost of 110. Which this 6-man Assault Marine squad of Skyclaws is now cheaper than a 5-man Vanguard Veteran squad that has yet to buy a weapon. And they do buy their weapons if you want the good ones. Yes. So but for that cost, you're getting an extra body, 4 Melta-guns, and then a Thunderhammer and a Power Fist.
It's pretty good. Yeah, the problem I noticed with Assault Marines...
Like 15 or 18 in every list. No questions asked.
Yeah. The problem with Assault Marines in anything else is they're not budget Van Vets. they are flying intercessors, or they're flying tactical marines. Like, they really are just flying tactical marines.
Yeah.
Those guys are flying stern guard. Like, whee!
Yeah, no, so Skyclaws are really good. They probably should be on the list, frankly, but I didn't want to honor them with trying to find a picture of a Space Wolf painted Assault Marine, so they're not making it. But just Space Wolf players, if you don't have 18 of those bad boys ready, now is your chance.
Yeah, that combination of war gear is cheap as chips.
It's 330 points for just 3 fast combat units that are like actually good in combat. If you do successors, you go Exploding Sixes, Master Artisans, and you just get a free reroll on your 4 Meltagun shots that are just pew all over the place.
Yeah.
Do not get close. And they can advance and shoot without penalties, because 1 CP ignore hit mods, all hit mods.
Yeah, no, that's good. Shoot through a forest with an assault weapon after you advanced. If it's near a neuro, like as a
-4 to hit, like no
whatever,
problem.
Venom Throat. Who
not
cares?
even a problem. So anyways, Skyclaws an honorable mention. Jack, hit me with one.
All right, next up, we got one of, from my favorite chapter, we've got the Ball Predator. Yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in years.
They were metal the last time I played against a Ball Predator.
They were meta like in 5th ed?
Metal.
Ooh.
Pewter.
Yes, I think they were good in 5th ed. I don't really know.
Yeah, you bought a Predator and it came with a box of pewter that had the weapons, because they didn't want to make a sprue for the 3 Blood Angel players. Who
listen,
actually used
if you
a Ball
don't do
Predator.
that, both of them are going to be upset.
Yeah, no, they will be very mad.
Yeah.
They'll take an Uber over.
So it didn't get anything new. No. What it did get was a lot of free war gear. So at 110 points, same as that Skyclaw unit, it used to be you got the Flamestorm Cannon, which was terrible because it was the only weapon it had.
Respectful. It is terrible.
Still is terrible. You're not taking it.
No.
It was D6 shots. Still is, I guess, technically. D6 shots at strength 6, AP2, damage 2. But it's D6, so you get to find out every turn whether or not it does literally anything at all.
Yeah.
So you replace that with a Twin Assault Cannon, which was 10 points and is now 0. And then you hand it either 2 Heavy Flamers, which were 30 points combined, or you hand it 2 Heavy Bolters, which were 30 points combined and are now 0. Then, just because you can, you throw in a Hunter-Killer Missile, was 5 points, now 0, and a Storm Bolter, was 5 points, now 0. That package with 2 Heavy Bolters or 2 Heavy Flamers, a Twin Assault Cannon, and then a Storm Bolter, and then a free Hunter-Killer Missile, whatever. Sure. That is a cool 110 points, and it used to be a cool 160 points.
Yeah, 50-point decrease on a tank does feel nice.
Yeah, it's a 40-point decrease on upgrades you actually would have taken. The Storm Bolter is actually pretty good because you're just looking to output shots.
Yeah,
the Hunter-Killer Missile you would have left at home. So it's 45 points decrease on this unit. Now, it did get less durable with Loss of Armor Contempt, which is something that is going to plague this list.
Yes.
But it is
cheap.
110 is dirt cheap for that unit, and that's what you want. You just want it to run around being too cheap and annoying to really want for your opponent to really want to shoot at, and it just goes burt all game at 10 guardsmen on an objective. Something's got to do it. You lost a lot of the Angelus bolt guns. You lost all the Angelus bolt guns that would
they're now all Inferno pistols.
They're now all Inferno pistols.
Yeah.
So you do need something to clear
10 guardsmen on
clear
objective.
10 guardsmen on objective without sending a 200-point unit to go charge it. So, Ball Predators. Love them. Also, they're cool. Come on.
Every Blood Angel player should own Ball Predators. Otherwise, I don't think that they're really a Blood Angel player.
And Richard doesn't own one.
Oh, but you do, right?
Probably.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, one last honorable mention. This one is the Contemptor Dreadnought from Forge World. It's an honorable mention because it did not go down in points. It still cost a CP, and sad. But it loves that Dev Doctrine change.
Oh, boy, yeah.
The combined Armor of Contempt and Dev Doctrine change does... no one benefits more from that than a Volkite Contemptor.
It goes from AP0 to AP1.
And then AP1 is a real number again.
And then AP1 doesn't immediately go back to AP0.
Yeah, it went from AP0 all the time, even in Dev Doctrine, to AP1 all the time, all 5 turns. It's oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's much better.
You had to, purchase Manipulation to put it back into Dev Doctrine.
And then hope you weren't playing in Armor Contempt. Ugh.
Yeah, and then it's oh, it's a mortal bot, and then occasionally you fail a save. No. Here's AP1. That actually matters. Eat dirt.
Yeah, no, the Volkite Contemptor, it's God tier in Iron Hands. But it was already really good in Iron Hands. So this is falling into that. How much did it improve? And in non-Iron Hand chapters, it improved respectably, but not crazy. So that's keeping it out of the top 10.
Yeah,
But it's an honorable mention.
exactly.
And if you have Volkite Contemptors, like a good Space Marine player should, enjoy.
It's like I don't think the top Space Marine armies, other than Iron Hands, really want a Volkite Contemptor, which is
Yeah, it's probably true. We had 2 quick comments that I wanted to read out, even though they weren't super chats. Get on that, everyone. And that is one. It upsets me when Jack doesn't wear a Jack shirt.
I saw that.
Give the people what they want.
I want to, but Laundry Day comes for us all, buddy.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I'm wearing a more
I know
Jack shirt than you
you
are.
are. You're wearing a pink Kirby shirt.
Yeah, well, it's a Hawaiian Kirby
I don't
shirt.
think people at home can see it's covered in Kirby's.
It's covered in Kirby's.
It's great.
And then let's see. God, I thought there was one more. Oh yeah, who do I have going to the Super Bowl? William Begley. I'm gonna have Bills over Eagles in the Super Bowl. That's where I'm going with it. Possibly Chiefs. Not really decide on that one. All right. Well, let's get to the fun part, right?
Let's do it.
We have a top 10 list, which means we need to start off with number 10.
Oh boy, do we?
Ready, go!
Let's do it! Impulsors, and very specifically Black Templar Impulsors.
That is a very specifically painted Impulsor right there.
It is. You specifically searched one up that was a Black Templar's Impulsor.
Yeah.
And the reason it's a Black Templar's Impulsor is because all Impulsors went down 10 and got a variety of free war gear. Cool. Well done, Impulsors. You get like 20 free points. Black Templar Impulsors.
You get a pretty healthy amount of free points, actually.
Out of I think they went down 10 and then their 10-point upgrade became free.
Yeah,
whatever.
but then then you get the Iron Hail on top of it. Also, man, some of that stuff is expensive.
Fair enough. I think the Bellicatus missile array was pretty expensive. I think it was like 15, 20 points. That is now free if you want that instead of the Iron Hails. A big decision you can make. Do I want more anti-tank? Do I want more anti-infantry? Anyway, a little used rule in Black Templars is...
It's a tiny little asterisk. You barely even see it.
Yeah, it's mostly for fluff reasons, really.
Yeah.
Any Black Templars Impulsor, Gladiator, Repulsor Executioner can replace one of their Iron Hail Heavy Stubbers, or specifically if they're not taking an Iron Hail Heavy Stubber, can have a Multi-Melta instead. That's awesome. Black Templars love multi-meltas. Drive me closer so I can hit him with a sword, and if you're close, you hit him with a multi-melta. That's awesome.
It's like the old Land Raider Crusader is, I think, why they did this.
Yeah, I think so, probably. But
weirdest thing.
Here's the thing, right? It used to cost 20 points, so you would never do it. Also, Gladiators and Impulsors were terrible. More on Gladiators later.
Yeah, hold on that.
Yeah. Well, now that multi-melta is free.
Yeah.
And that's the point where you take it. And... also, with Armor of Contempt going away, you do kind of look for invulnerable saves. And if you're looking for invulnerable saves, why not come to the army that has invulnerable saves across the army? Uphold the honor of the Emperor?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Uphold the Devastator Doctrine of the Emperor. That's all I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, you're staying in Dev Doctrine all game.
Yeah, Impulsors love, actually, the Dev Doctrine because they're made of heavy, stubbers if you want that. Which is funny.
Yeah.
But then, also maybe a multi-melt instead, which sure probably doesn't mind Devastator Doctrine statistically.
It's instead of one heavy stubber. So you still get the Sky Talon array, which is 8 shot strength, 4 AP2 in Assault Doctrine.
Or you do the Missile Launcher,
Dev Doctrine, sorry.
Missile Launcher with the multi-melt, and you're like, oh, this is actually just like a tank now.
Yeah, it's a battle tank.
It's actually just like an old school battle tank. That's like what a Predator was in 6th edition.
You can do either one. They're both good.
Yeah, it reminds me of Last Plasma Razorback, except instead of a plasma gun, it's a missile launcher and a multi-melta.
And you end up with, I think, another gun in there as well, like a storm bolter or something.
Oh yeah, 2 storm bolters.
2 storm bolters.
Yeah, and you might as well also move 14 inches.
Yeah, and then have units get out after.
Sure. Okay, Impulsors.
Yeah,
I see you.
Yeah, the missiles are very good. The Sky Talon arrays are very good. I'm not sure which direction you go. It's mostly what your list is teched to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can. These things are 100 points for a multi-melta, either an 8-shot anti-infantry gun that rips apart infantry, or a missile launcher. 2 storm bolters, a 5-up invuln. It can't get covered though. A thing vehicles can never do. Anyway,
no problem. Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah. So Black Templar Impulsors, kind of crazy. I'm playing a list I call Slow Harlequins, and I would like you all to do the same. Although they move 14, Harlequins move 16, so I guess technically they're slower. Yeah, if you think about it.
So I suppose so.
I'm playing this list on Thursday into Siegs' AdMech. I have 6 Impulsors, and then 3 Gladiator Lancers, 1 Gladiator Reaper.
Where are you getting those?
somewhere.
Okay.
We're working it out.
Okay.
We have exactly 6 impulsors between all of our chapters.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm sure there's some sicko out there who could put this on the board, and I want to let them know if they should.
I respect that person who's already ready for this. So yeah, impulsors.
All right. Yeah. Impulsors. Black Templar specifically, very good. Outside of that, you know.
Yeah, but we're still giving nods to chapter specific, like units that are best in one chapter, like an impulsor, just because there are some like chapter specific units coming up, which by definition.
What would you put in this impulsor, John?
Really, you could put a troop choice, but I kind of like not having to take troop choices. So instead, this Black Templar impulsor is gonna hold Sword Brethren.
Yep, Sword Brethren.
I think everyone has missed this, by the way, because I haven't seen it.
Anyone talk about
Sword Brethren?
Yeah,
I've not seen a single person beside like. I came to Jack. I was like, "Hey, did Sword Brethren get free warrior?" He's like, "Nah, I think they still pay for it." Like,
no. I checked.
And then he checked, and you were like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh." And then we found out what it actually was, and we're like, "Oh, dang."
Yeah, I have 20 of these in my list. Yeah.
Yes, the Black Tempulsors.
The Black Tempulsors. I have 20 of these in the list I'm trying on Thursday. They are great. They went down in points. They are now they're 22 points. Maybe they stayed the same in points, but they're War Gears free. Mm-hmm. So what you can get for 220 points is you get 10 of these complete chads. You get 10 of these complete chads with, let me see if I can remember correctly. 2 Thunder Hammers, 2 Twin Lightning Claws, 2 Power Axes, 4 Power Swords, 4 Pyre Pistols, which is a hand flamer at AP1, 2 Plasma Pistols. And all of those War Gear upgrades are free.
Isn't a Pyre Pistol also Strength 4?
No, it's Strength 3.
Oh, it is Strength 3?
Yeah, it's Strength 3.
Never mind.
And what's great about these guys is that they get the benefits of cover, even if you take the 5-up invuln thing, because they just know how to uphold their vow in a way that isn't stupid. Yeah. So these guys get out into cover with like a 2-up save and a million free warrior options.
Yeah, no, and as long as they've got an efficient transport, foot guys can be good.
Yes.
And boy, do Black Templars give an efficient transport.
Yes, they do.
Do you give them combi plasmas as well? Because I see a dude holding a combi plasma.
I actually don't think they can take a combi plasma.
Well, surely not.
The
kit is just holding a...
I think that might be a marshal.
No, that is...
Because they get a combi plasma. I don't know. I didn't see an option in there for a combi plasma.
Well, we're going to have to go looking.
An auto combi plasma, because that's an auto bolt rifle with a combi plasma on it. Yeah, that would be sick if you could take a 5-shot gun.
Yeah. No, seriously?
But I don't think you can. I didn't see it.
We'll go double check.
We'll check.
I'm just looking at the kit, man.
I see the kit right here, and it makes me feel a certain way.
All right. Well, before we move on to number 8, let's acknowledge our favorite lemon pirate is in the chat.
Yes.
And that is the Zlack Onion, who's been a member for 13 months. Thank you so much, Zlack Onion. In an effort to fix their flash gits problem, they've resolved to not bring up flash gits. So I'm not going to mention them. But what are your thoughts on knobs with power stabbers? Does anyone know what a power stabber looks like? Zlack Onion, I just looked up what a power stabber looks like, so I do know.
I know what the stats are.
Do you know what it looks like?
It looks like a little spear thing.
Yeah, it's like a
sticker.
It's like a frog gig that's a fist.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
You don't take it because big choppers are better. That's what I know.
Big choppers are better?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
they're damage +2, -1 damage 2. Power stabbers are +1 strength, AP2, damage 1.
Damage 1 is not the right number. No, you need your knobs like big chopping people.
Yeah, big choppers.
Yeah.
Big good. Power stabbers. Power buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so you can build lieutenants.
Snivar is asking in the chat, is this another case of buy 3 Storm Speeders? Snivar, I hope you did buy 3 Storm Speeders because they are good.
They're very good.
They are very good.
I don't believe made this list because they were good before and they're just really good now.
Yeah, they didn't make it because we already liked them.
Yes.
Continue. They do not have a combi melt option on Wikipedia. Maybe it is how you build their lieutenant equivalent.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I want a combi plasma.
Is it in the kit?
An auto combi plasma. I know you can give that to a lieutenant or a marshal, or that's a marshal or it's a marshal or a castellan. I think I could be wrong.
Like that. I'm definitely gonna fool Snivar twice. By the way, Snivar buy 3 gladiators.
Yep, do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. I hope you like Iron Hands though, because that's really where you want both of those.
All right, rock and roll.
Let's do it.
All right, moving on down the line, we have aggressors who are now aggressively costed.
Very much are.
I wanted these a little higher, but there are some really good choices coming up, so it's fair. The old aggressor simply went down to 30 points. Nothing else to it. The war gear, there was only one war gear option. Like you either did flamers or you did bolt. Flamer was 40, bolt was 45. It's now a flat 30 no matter what, which has led me to just be like, oh, bolt storm gauntlets, 15-point decrease, yay!
If you're salamanders, I think you still take flamestorm.
I think salamanders is the right call.
Yeah.
Anyone else though, I think I'm good.
Yeah, no, they're just as you said, aggressively costed.
Yeah.
30 points per body is pretty solid.
They're not that tough, but they're also not that fragile.
No, they're not. You have transhuman. If you have any way to put an invuln on them, suddenly you're looking at possessed, basically.
Yep. Yeah, and like 30 points for a possessed with guns and power fists, like I'm kind of willing to do that.
And also access to transhuman.
And core.
Yeah, no, that's very good. Honestly, that is just
If I could take a 10-man aggressor squad, I would.
Snivar says Gladiator as in the worst Caladius. Everything's a worse Caladius, Snivar.
If you think about it.
If you think about it.
As long as he's taking 3 Caladius, we're good. Allies. Yeah, so no, I just genuinely just really like the aggressors. Like it's just that they're so efficiently costed now. They're only good in some chapters. They don't really care about the doctrine buff much. Because like if you're a good combat army, you'll probably be going from tactical to assaults pretty soon anyways. If you want to stay in assault all game for AP1 bolters, sure, that's fine. But it's only a matter of tactical doctrine, bolter doctrine.
I know, I mix it up because tactical doctrine benefits assault weapons.
It's firmly despise that.
I hate it so bad. I'm like, I'm going to assault doctrine, and then, or like, I'm staying in assault doctrine. They're like, why is that AP1? I'm like, because it's an assault weapon. Oh, god damn it.
Like, gets them every time. Surely the assault weapon in assault doctrine, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So anyways, I love aggressors. I think they're really, really good in white scars. I think that's probably the chapter where they're best. But I think they're very solid in almost any list that wants to go infantry heavy. I think that the grindy, like, Foot Templars would not mind having aggressors.
They like them.
I think a balanced Ultramarine list loves some aggressors.
Deathwatch wants them.
Deathwatch
the Indomitor
kills aggressors.
The Indomitor kill team want them, and they also just want them on foot. You can break rule of 3 with that if you want.
Easy, no problem. Make them troops and obsec too. Let's just really get those command points and grind them down. No, I think aggressors are just super solid all the way down.
Yeah. We, by the way, missed an honorable mention, I think, which always seems to happen.
Gets them every time.
I think Invictor Warsuits deserved an honorable mention.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yes. Chat reminded us.
Yeah.
They might have earned a spot on this list, honestly. Because in Iron Hands, they went from 0 to hero.
Yeah, Iron Hands especially. The Invictors are crazy.
They're so good.
I always loved Invictors. You know me. I've already got my 3 painted, and I'm super thrilled.
It's like, wow, I can beat an army that is just guns on vehicles that start in their deployment zone. But guns on vehicles start in your deployment zone, and also have 3 of them deploying in midfield.
With combat.
Combat. Yeah. And what you do is you don't go 9 inches from their deployment zone unless you like really disrespect their army, which, fair. But what you do is you put them kind of in midboard where they can get like unique firing angles that the rest of your army can't get. And then your opponent's ability to hide is cut way down.
Yeah. No. Iron-handed victors make me real happy.
Yeah. They might have earned a spot on the list, honestly, because they got so much better.
Yeah, that's fair. I think aggressors there's nothing flash about them. They're just way cheaper than before, and that makes John happy.
Yes.
And I think the fact that it is a one-dimensional change is why. Like, 'cause it's just points cheaper. Like, doctrines didn't matter. Nothing else changed. Just points cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, you can technically stay in tactical doctrine, but realistically, that's not an amazing game
I just
plan.
can't think of like a chapter that is like doing that other than Salamanders.
Yeah, it's mostly Salamanders.
Salamanders.
Or it's just White Scars wanting the bolts, and then you skip into Assault Doctrine, then the damage 3.
Bonk.
Yeah.
I love it. Or your Ultramarines and you never even get to Tactical Doctrine because you're still secretly a Devastator Doctrine army.
Weird.
Yeah, weird how that works. All right, let's hit the next one.
Codex Warfare is ludicrous.
So moving on from the aggressors, who I love, into the other 3-wound model with Power Fists that I love. But these ones also get Thunderhammers, and this is Terminators. And here we have bundled every Terminator together.
Yes, but also some Terminators are not built the same. They're just built different, bro.
Yeah, no, you don't get it. These Ultramarine Terminators, they just don't get the sheer warrior options that Space Wolves and Deathwing get.
Deathwatch 2.
Deathwatch 2, but Deathwatch actually pays for them. Absolutely disgusting.
I know. Imagine having to pay.
Hard to understand, really.
I do like 3 for 5 though. 3 special weapons for 5, or 3 heavy weapons for 5.
Paying for them though.
Listen,
3
I
for
hear
5
you,
is pretty good, though.
but at a steep discount.
Yeah, that's true. No, you get really good stuff with basically everyone who can take a Terminator likes them. They're really good, even in like White Scars and Ultramarines, when you don't actually get to do anything special with your Terminators. You're just like, yeah, this is just a good data sheet.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 points more than an aggressor for a 4-up invuln, +2 to your armor saves, -1 toughness, no guns,
No
Thunder
transhuman,
Hammer.
No transhuman.
No, oh, well,
The wounds.
that one looks transhuman to me.
Yeah. We'll get there. You lumped all Terminators together, John. You're the one who did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the best part of them is that they still have Armor of Contempt, technically.
Yeah,
like
there's the
they
free
don't
cycle.
actually have Armor of Contempt, the rule. What they do have is a Storm Shield that gives them +1 to their save that did not stack with Armor of Contempt.
Yeah. I am still in favor of the old Deathwing Terminator as the best one. I think Deathwing Terminators... now, Wolfguard Terminators are also very good. However, I would like to point out that GW knows what's up because they made Space Wolf Terminators 34 points per model. Just 1 point more than all the other Terminators because they get all these cool war gear options. But then Deathwing Terminators, who also get all these cool war gear options, 33 points per model. They know who's best. It's not Space Wolves. It's Dark Angels.
So what free war gear can
Glory
this
to
unit
the
get?
first.
I know that like pretty much all Terminators that have access to Thunderhammer Storm Shield just get them for free and you will take them.
Yeah.
But what other options do they have?
So you can so basically Deathwing lets you one, you get a Watcher in the Dark, which is now free, which is just a free deny that you can reroll denies against Chaos, which is hilarious. 'Cause you can just have like 5 denies, just be like, yeah, reroll denies against Chaos. What's up, demons?
And it's once a game, right? Each one.
It's once per game each, but yeah,
Still, it's like,
still
oh, did
kinda
you
funny.
pass that Philippine on a 7? Let's just real quick. Oh, look, I stopped it.
Oh, look at that.
And it's on units that are pushing.
Yeah, you can put Cyclone Missile Launchers on your Thunderhammer Storm Shields, which I always like.
That is great.
You can, and what's really nice is that the Deathwing ones can mix the Assault Terminator and the regular Terminator options.
That's a huge deal,
They
too.
do not get combi weapons the way that Space Wolves do. Space Wolves have the most number of choices for some reason on their Terminators, but I like that Dark Angels get the choices that I want, which is Thunderhammer Storm Shield, and they get free Cyclone Missile Launchers, and they get Transhuman. You can also take things like Plasma Cannons and
Plasma and Dark Angels.
yeah, for some reason, the Deathwing Knights, which is like a Terminator with a Storm Shield and Thunderhammer, costs as if it's paying 10 points for them. Ludicrous, really.
Absolutely.
I look
crazy.
at that compared to what like a normal Thunderhammer Storm Shield guy. I'm like, absolutely not.
I might buy the Deathwing Knights. I might put them on the board, but my opponent is gonna know I paid 33 points for them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a normal Terminator.
It's
Thank you.
yeah, they're just really
multi-purpose kit. Just give them a cool head.
because they look awesome.
They do look kind of baller.
But how many plasma cannons can you jam in a squad?
Only 2.
Only 2
It's
per
not
5.
actually crazy. No, I think I prefer the Cyclones.
Okay.
Because it's unfortunately you cannot do Plasma and Cyclone at the same time.
Boo.
But I just like Thunderhammer Storm Shields.
Can you take 4 per 10?
No, 2 per 10.
2 per 10. Ugh.
2 per 10, 1 per 5. Yeah, no, you're just jamming a couple free Cyclones on.
And they're also transhuman, so they're
They're just thick.
they're just far better than aggressors, pretty much.
Yeah, they are just better than aggressors.
They don't have the bolters.
Hate saying that out loud, but in a Dark Angel army, they're just better than aggressors.
Just real good, and you can give them -1 damage, and you probably do.
They're really good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of spicy there. All good things. All good things for the Terminators.
Yeah, Terminators having storm shields, so they basically still have Armor of Contempt.
Yeah, funny how
means
that worked out.
people are just not going to be ready for that, and them in cover is just going to blank AP 1 and 2, and you can walk clean up the board at people.
Yeah, everyone who thought now was the time to bring back AP 1 and 2, you're right. However,
I've introduced you to me and 9 of my friends.
Yeah.
I will also say that in Dark Angels, Dark Angel Terminators are better than Space Wolves because you get access to an Apothecary. Yes.
we got them, boys.
We got them, boys.
Oh man.
You get to bring them back and get extra movement by rezzing rezzing models in front of the squad.
That is my favorite part. now that you
Yes,
mention it.
yes.
Funny how that always works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right. Let's keep it in the first, right?
Let's keep it in the first. This one I'm very excited to put on the table.
Yup. All right.
Black Knights.
Black Knights.
Raven Wing Black Knights.
Yeah, the bike model that we've all been like, I'm gonna build a Raven Wing list. Pity there's no Black Knights in it. Anyways, yeah, we're getting there.
Landspeeder Vengeance, work in progress.
Yeah, we're getting there. So man, that thing was also really improved.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it went down 15 points for the assault cannon variant.
Right. I mean, everything Raven Wing got better, and we just didn't want to make it 7 Raven Wing slots. But anyways,
Raven Wing's probably the biggest winner in the book.
yeah.
I mean, in the change, because they didn't just get +1 AP to all their weapons.
Yeah.
They got, which would you rather have, reroll 1s to hit, or would you rather move 3 inches more and be able to advance and shoot?
The ignore heavy penalty is actually really good as well.
That's true. That's true. But it's on vehicles all the time.
Exactly. It was better when vehicles took a heavy penalty.
Yes.
Back in those days. So you get a lot of buffs with Black Knights. Mainly, as you said, being in permanent dev doctrine is awesome. What's weird, they don't have any heavy weapons. Worry not, my friend.
Yes, they now move 17 inches and can advance and shoot if they feel like it.
Yeah, which they already could, but now it's just plus 3 inches.
It's just plus 3 inch move.
Yeah, just plus 3 inch move.
But really, it's not even that they got a lot better, although they did go down 5 points per model. And their Corvus Hammers were already free.
They were already free?
They were already free. But they went down 5 points per model, and they now are permanently moved 3 inches faster, even though they could always advance and shoot. Fair. But they now move 3 inches faster all game, which is a massive buff.
Yeah.
It's also that Ravenwing as an army is way better than before. And what do you take in a Ravenwing army? Cheap Black Knights.
Yeah, no,
there we go.
They love that they're getting the cheaper. They love that Armor of Contempt is gone because they pack a lot of high AP shooting that wants to kill Marines with plasma.
Yes.
So they're going to be pretty respectable in the mirror, we expect.
They also
have it like low AP melee that really likes Armor of Contempt gone. And they don't really feel it because they've got a 4 band of against shooting.
Yes.
Now, combat, they are going to feel that lost Armor of Contempt. If you get to grips with Black Knights when they don't want you to, you will notice that you can scoop them by the dozen.
Yes.
But
they're very fast.
They do move 17 inches, so it's not easy.
It's basically one of the best lists in the game uses this as its backbone. And so, take them.
Yeah, no, Black Knight's real good.
Basically just works like that. Yeah.
It pretty much does. Funny, we're just kind of going down the line of fast units that got a lot cheaper in a specific chapter.
That's so weird.
Hate to put this ahead of a Dark Angel unit, but we're not done with Dark Angels.
No, we're not.
So let's rock and roll here. Oh boy, Thundercav.
Thunderwolf Cav.
Thunderwolf Cavalry got a lot cheaper, and they're bad still. But there's a points cost you can pay for a bad unit where suddenly it's good again.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean,
I think we found it.
Points are everything, right? You price a Space Marine at 5 points and it's broken. You price a Space Marine at 100, it's terrible. Like there's a point in there where every single unit goes from bad to good, and they found it.
They crossed the line.
Yeah, they crossed the Rubicon of being not bad anymore.
Not Primaris, so they're still kind of short.
No, that's for sure. They're very short.
Pretty sure a guy on a wolf is still the same height as Ferris Ironfather.
Probably, but that's just because he wears lifts, and by that I mean he's got
and a rock.
Yeah, he's got also the thickest boots.
Yeah. Before we go on this sequence about Thundercav, I realized that I did not mention a super chat we just got.
Heck, you can't do that.
Yeah, you cannot leave those hanging. So, David Roebuck, with the super chat. Thank you so much for your support. We really, really appreciate it. It is what helps us to grow this channel. So, Redemptors versus Warsuits with Tiggy and Ultramarines. I'm going to say Warsuits.
Yeah.
The Invictor Warsuits, I think, are just better than Redemptors 7 days a week.
Yeah, they're 45 points cheaper is the biggest deal.
Forward deploy!
They
also,
forward deploy.
They're so good in Ultramarines.
They're a lot cheaper.
You can redeploy them.
Yeah, redeploying, very good. If you go second, you pull them back. And if you go first, so you deploy them on the line, like 9 inches from your opponent's deployment zone.
Yeah.
And the way I said you don't do it, because you can redeploy them in Ultramarines. And then if you go second, they're all back and they're safe. And if you go first, they go in.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep. If you ever theoretically went first with that army. Which, I don't even know if that happens.
Yeah. John apparently had a massive going second spree with an army that would destroy you going first.
Do be like that sometimes. So yeah.
Oh my god, they do have the McDonald's logo on their shoulders. Look at
100%. 100%. Yeah. Space Wolves, brought to you by McDonald's. Seriously though, Space Wolves are a lot better, and Thundercav are part of the reason why, because they're so cheap. They're 35 points now, right?
They're 35 points.
They used to be like 60.
For a Storm Shield and Lightning Claw, they're 35 points. That is 7 attacks a guy. 4 of which are Strength 4 reroll wounds. 3 of which are Strength 5 AP2 or AP3 in Assault Doctrine.
Yep.
They hit super hard. They have Storm Shield, so they are still as durable as they were before, and they have a 4-up invuln because why not?
Yeah, everyone who got a free Storm Shield got better. Just blanket.
Just to be clear, yeah.
Anyone with a free Storm Shield takes it.
Yeah. Yeah, Thunderwolf Cav are insane. I mean, you can pay for Thunderhammers. You probably won't. Keep them 35 points per model at toughness 5 with 4 wounds.
Just cheap. It's like the same cost as a Blade Guard veteran.
Yeah.
Like a Blade Guard veteran's 35, and I'm like, this thing moves twice as fast, advances and charges, And sure, Blade Guard go through walls, and that's fun. But, like, come on.
Yeah. These guys just hit so hard for their points. Like, sure, they can be move blocked. Sure, they can't walk through walls. But you have to move block them. Because what, are you going to let them charge you?
Ludicrous.
Yeah.
Ludicrous.
So you have to expend resources to move block them that the Space Wolf army will then kill. And you still have to deal with them at some point because they're not going to stop running at you. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just that they're annoying to kill and they're super cheap. Are they a fast attack choice? Mm-hmm. I could really see a Space Wolf list that goes 6 fast attacks, Arks of Omen, 3 Skyclaws, 3 Thundercav, just 3x3.
Yeah, it's like 600 points.
Yeah, it really. Yeah. 645 points to get those 6 units.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's cheap. That's so cheap. That's 3x6 Skyclaws, 3x3 Thundercav, 645 points. You now have an army to build around that, and you just have those units in there.
Oh my god, that is ludicrous.
You can also just take 3x5.
Space Wolf's broken?
No,
Brother.
they're good. They're good.
Brother.
They're good. They have cheap units.
Yeah, you can take more if you want. Don't worry. We went small because I don't like move blocks and I want my units to be cheap if they're getting move blocked. However, if you want them to be bigger, no problem.
But 175 for 5 of these is also kind of insanely cheap.
Yeah.
And you take 3 of them for what? 525? 15 Thunderwolf Cav for 525, and you just run people down.
Yeah, it's super spooky.
It is very spooky.
Very spooky. All right, we've got a super chat from Matt O, which we're going to go over before we move on to our number 4 spot, one that I think will surprise people. Who do y'all think is the best Marine in the mirror, since that is likely to be super common? Is it Scars with their extra speed and damage? I don't think it's Scars,
No, I don't think so.
Scars only get half of the buffs, because they got the points buffs, they didn't get the Doctrine buffs. And the points buffs, unfortunately, didn't hit their best units.
Yeah, it's kind of a side grade for White Scars because you get cheaper units, but they all lost Armor of Contempt, so you're like, oh.
Yeah, and then also, like, the best Scar units, which were, like, Devastators and Van Vets, didn't actually really get much better.
Yeah.
But the Scars are still really good. They are very improved. We think that Dark Angels are going to be the best in the mirror, but there is a lot of testing to be had on that front.
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
But both of us are on the same page. I think it's Dark Angels.
Fortunately / unfortunately, we are both deep in the LVO meta still. So we haven't gotten a ton of Arks of Omen's games, and we're playing it. As a matter of fact, Jack and I'll be playing an Arks of Omen game on this channel tomorrow that's showing off Dark Angels and perhaps why we think they're good. But I think Dark Angels are going to be a very popular choice.
They're very fast, so they're going to be the ones who get to apply their shooting first if they play their cards right.
Indeed.
Iron Hands are probably the second best.
And the Dark Angel mirror
is ludicrous.
Ludicrous.
It's just.
I've got a plan for the Dark Angel mirror.
Sure,
Jack
whatever.
doesn't even know.
I don't care.
You will. My Dark Angel army is almost painted.
It used to be Blood Angels were just like far and away the best in the Marine mirror before Arks of Omen, because they were like, hey, Armor of Contempt is great against everybody, and also I cut through Armor of Contempt. That's no longer the case.
Yeah, I do think, however, that what mission set, or I apologize, what terrain set you're playing is going to matter massively for Space Marines.
For sure.
Because there are some terrain formats where Iron Hands are the best. And there are some terrain formats where I think Space Wolves / Blood Angels / White Scars are going to be the best.
Black Templars, too.
Black Templars are always good.
Just to be clear, if everyone's gearing up for a tank off, and Black Templar shows up with 100 bodies...
Maybe Transhuman Invuln gonna hurt.
I legitimately think that 100 Primaris, Crusaders could legitimately just ragdoll every Marine chapter until they start bringing back the guns that are good against them.
Space Wolves would eat that.
What the heck?
Oh, man, Space Wolves hit hard.
I know they hit hard, but they hit hard on the first unit, then they get hit back, and then they hit hard again, and then they hit back. And
Fight lasts.
I hear you.
I don't know.
I hear you.
Put
100 Primaris
Put a couple
Crusaders.
fight lasts in and go kill 60 Primaris Crusaders.
100 Primaris Crusaders.
So, who is the most... This is another super chat from Black Onion. Who is the most improved Art of War coach in Arks of Omen? Well, that depends. When are Kasrkin coming back in stock?
Hopefully never.
I say back in stock. As soon as Kasrkin are released, I will be a much more skilled player.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I think it's Richard. I think it's Richard. First off, he likes Arks of Omen, and he did not like Nephilim.
True.
So that is a big difference, because he will actually feel enthusiastic about it.
Grey
Second
Knights
off,
and
Grey Knights got really good now.
yeah, Admech got much improved.
Admech got much improved. We'll see how far that goes. What are his other?
Votan didn't get
Votan
tangibly
or
worse
whatever.
or better. I think they're about the
They
same.
took a bit of a points hit, but
Yeah,
whatever.
but they like Armor Contempt gone.
They also like Armor of Contempt gone. They also like a meta where people are trying to stand out in the open and get shot.
Yeah, they do like that.
They do like that. And then there's one other, Necrons. Necrons are whatever.
Yeah.
But
Admech and Grey Knights on the rise, though. It's a real thing to watch out for.
I would say Richard.
It's possible. Guard. Excited, man. Yeah, you ain't ready.
Hey.
All right. You ready for number 4?
Let's do number 4.
Number 4 on this list.
The humble.
Sternguard veterans.
Actually, not that humble. Look at those robes.
Yeah,
you
look
don't
at
wear
those.
robes like that unless you are.
Unless you know you've got it.
You're being
You've
real
got it,
weird.
flaunt it.
Real weird with it. That's for sure.
Sternguard veterans didn't even go down in points. Giant asterisk. They're War Gears free now.
Yes, 20 points per model gets you a squad of 5 with 2 multi-meltas, 3 combi meltas, and war gear to taste.
Yeah, just 100 points, 70 points of War Gear free, and then like toss in some like
A storm shield and a power fist or something.
I don't actually think they get storm shields, but you can definitely just fit like a random power fist and some stuff in there.
You get something on the sergeant. Who cares? Like really? Yeah, you get something.
Yeah, just like so that you get like 100 points, 80 points for War Gear. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, so it's solid.
Yeah.
That's
it's
really
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Sternguard also, one of the reasons why they are so high up in this list, it's not necessarily that we think they're better than Black Knights. It's that we really need to emphasize how absolutely terrible Sternguard were.
Yes, this is the unit that benefited the most, maybe the next one too, from being garbage before, like untakeable, to being pretty good. Like not best unit in the codex, but just like very solid. And if you took them, it's good. 100 points for a unit with 2 multi-meltas, 3 combi meltas, and also free strategic reserves, which these guys really like if they're not going to pot.
They do. I mean, even like an Iron Hand one, just like showing up and just being like, oh, meltas, combi meltas, die. It's like, oh, it's actually kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Um,
No, like I think they're a very good, very inexpensive way to get heavy and special weapons into your army.
yeah.
And
anyone can do it.
Yeah.
They don't, like, every chapter kind of likes Sternguard.
Yeah. The Iron Hands love them the most.
Iron Hands probably love them the most, but again, just
Those multi-meltas, man. Pew pew.
it's a lot of melta shots. It's just
It is.
there's a lot of different ways to cram in a lot of melta shots, and they love free strategic reserves.
Yeah.
You can even do free combi plasmas if you were feeling spicy, but I'm a melta man right now.
Yeah, I think Melta's the way to go until people cool it with all the vehicles. And I don't think that's happening for a bit.
Yeah, right? Ugh, sad. All right, we've got another super chat here from Hasbin3000. Thank you so much for your support. We really, really appreciate it.
50 Danish krona.
Ah.
I looked it up one time, so now anytime we get one of those, I will say it.
Excellent. Pure Iron Hands or Master Artisan / Whirlwind of Rage. I think you can go either way. I think if you're going Foot Iron Hands, you'll probably go with Artisan's Whirlwind. If you're going pure tank, I think you go pure Iron Hands. If you're just taking it like Invictors and the number 3 choice and Storm Speeders and like a Contemptor, at that point, screw it, just be pure. But if you're trying to go the more infantry heavy, which is still really good, like the Terminator brick, all that kind of things, I think you go Successors.
Yeah, Master Artisan's Whirlwind of Rage
Master
does look
Artisan's
real
Whirlwind
good.
is always really strong.
Yeah.
I love that.
You can always go Master Artisans and then count as double wounds if you're going vehicle heavy, but probably 6-up Feel No Pain is going to carry you.
I think on the vehicles that goes pretty far.
Because you have like 90 wounds of vehicle.
Yeah, plus you already hit on 2 zeroing ones.
Yeah, why not?
Pew! Pew, 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 pew. All right, ready for number 3?
Absolutely.
All right,
Of course.
hit it.
Gladiator! And not the Valiant, but the Gladiator Reaper, the Gladiator Reaper and the Gladiator Lancer, very good.
Yeah.
Gladiator Valiant is a unit, I guess you can take.
It is one of the units in the game, and it is also
Nobody can take that away from it.
It's an improved unit in the game.
It is. It got improved. It went down in points. It's not good. Better luck next time, Chief. But it is. It got improved.
But the Gladiator Lancer at 125 is just criminal. So this bad boy was like 165 in the loadout that we were running, because like we were actually paying the 5 points for the extra stuff.
It had to pay for its guns.
Yeah,
terrible.
but like we paid for it.
We took these to the Adepticon team's fluff tournament thing.
Oh, we did.
Yeah,
we paid for every single gun on it.
And they were
we
bad.
full spent it. They were actually kind of cool.
Okay.
They weren't great.
That's
They weren't
the only
great.
reason you say that is because they were the only unit that we took in that entire 4K 4 1,000-point armies that did anything at all.
They just paid so much for it. But
Like, you had
125
Gulliman and 700 points of nothing. Like,
Tyrannic War Veterans, Jack.
sorry, my
Gulliman
bad.
and Tyrannic War Veterans never fails.
So yeah, whoever got the 2 Gladiators and the Storm Speeder was like, wow,
Oh, yeah,
this
I've got
feels,
guns.
now we're playing with gas.
You can fit a lot of Gladiators in a list. The Reaper for 150 is an absolutely criminal 44 plus
42.
It's 24 shots
Yeah.
plus 16 from the bolters. Because it's 2 rapid fire 4s, so it's rapid fire 8 bolt guns. So if you're within 15 inches, it's that.
I think
40.
it might be a 20 shotgun.
You may be thinking of the fact that you're a Black Templar player, theoretically. I've never actually seen it. And so you're not taking the extra heavy stubber, which takes you to 44.
That's a lot of
Then
shots.
the Icarus rocket pod is just D3. So at about 15 inches, you're just like 44 plus D3 shots. They're all AP1 or 2. So many dice!
Pew!
Yeah, and like a lot of it is AP2. A lot of it is strength 6 plus. It's like oh, this is just a lot of dice.
The Gladiator Reaper is well named for sure.
It just weight of dice people so hard off the board.
There's
It's
a
hilarious.
certain point where 40 shots, because it's 40 shots plus the D3 plus the multi-melt in Black Templars.
Yeah, sure.
There's a certain point where that amount of shots is also good into tanks.
Yeah, no, there's that point, and
Yeah.
it's pretty quickly approaching. Reapers are amazing. And that's 150. A Lancer at 125 is a 13 wound T8 tank. That's the
It's 12. It's 12.
Really?
Yeah. T8, 12 wounds.
Thought it was 13.
Pops up.
No, we can just look up later. Anyways, it's almost as durable as a Russ, possibly the same. It's
Russ has a 2-up armor save.
it's very cheap,
Okay.
and I love them. It's got a lot of random anti-personnel guns as well.
No, Gladiator Lancers
And they love
are
that dev doctrine.
criminally cheap. 125 is ludicrous for a free multi-melta in Black Templars. But in Iron Hands, it's also insane.
Yeah, no, Iron Hand Gladiators.
Just hit on 2s, reroll 1s. Like, what are we, Caladius now?
Yeah, where do we get that from? Wild.
Yeah, the Gladiator Lancers at 125, Gladiator Reapers at 150 are the price point where we're like, wow, that's cheap.
Yeah, no, that is cheap as chips. That is enough to make me a happy
And
camper.
now you can just spam them.
Yes, now you can spam them.
Because there's 3 different data sheets, so you can take up to 9. You're not going to.
No,
But you
5 is a pretty good number though.
Yeah, 4 to 6 I think is totally viable.
Yeah, they are just cheap. So I love seeing it. We've got a couple of super chats we've got to cut through.
Absolutely.
First up from Shadow Sentry. Shadow Sentry has correctly asserted that Death Watch, in fact, do not like Sternguard veterans.
No, not every chapter likes
Not
Sternguard.
every chapter likes Sternguard. You are right, unfortunately. Death Watch veterans like Sternguard that have to pay for their storm shields, but it's built in. Weird.
Yeah.
Brother Tobias is hitting us with some Discord beef. One person says Demon Princes and Thousand Suns are trash. Another says that they're perfectly playable. Who is right? I'm gonna say that a Thousand Suns Demon Prince is definitely falling into playable.
Yeah,
it's
they're
not perfectly optimal. I think you would rather have the Exalted Sorcerer.
It's very close. So like
But also in Arcs,
I looked at it. So I was
the 4th HQ slot in Arcs actually makes the Demon Prince more appealing. I think it's better in Arcs.
it is better in Arcs. So I looked at Thousand Suns recently because I don't know, some reason. Yeah. The Demon Prince is fine. It's perfectly playable. I would 100%. They're definitely not trash. So
They're not trash.
they're not trash. Sorry, they're 150 points. You can give them Ether Stride if you want to make them move 3 inches further and fly without having to pay the points. You can do that. They're just 150 points. They're side grade on an Exalted Sorcerer, basically.
I think current Thousand Suns list, which only have 3 HQ choices, Airman's one of them, the Infernal Master's one of them.
Yes.
And so then it's like, oh, I only have 1 real HQ slot decision, so you take the Exalted Sorcerer to get as many spells in as possible. And that's
It's basically
fair
the same. Because Rahadi means you can cast an extra one, but don't know an extra one. So you know 2 with the Exalted Sorcerer, you know 2 with the Demon Prince.
Got it, okay.
So it's a side grade. You pay more points. You don't get Rahadi, but what you do get is some combat power. And that's nice.
Yeah.
It's a side grade.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly acceptable. And in Arcs, I like the idea of Demon Princes more because you have another HQ to play with.
And you don't have to go with the Sorcerer, so it becomes like an upgrade to the Sorcerer you would take for no slot.
All right, so
Caleb Overman.
Hold on. Brother Tobias loves the pink shirt. Thank you, Brother Tobias. We appreciate all of your support, by the way. It really, really does mean the world to us, and it's what helps us grow this channel, helps us run what we do.
And also helps us sleep at night.
Yeah, it helps us sleep at night. And if you perhaps want to help us even more, the one thing we love more than these super chats is the war room. So head over to theartofwar40k.com. Check it out. We've got a brand new website. If you maybe haven't looked in a while, now is a good time to take a peek. All right, Caleb Overman. $10 super chat. It's yellow, not blue, and that means we love it. Well, we love all of them, but we love the yellow ones especially. Are we in a world where Sternguard/Devastators in drop pods are good enough to run?
I guess.
I think they are.
They're fine. They work better at mid tables than they do at top tables because people will just not let you hit anything super valuable with them. The idea of Sternguard and Devastators and drop pods coming down and shooting your opponent's key resources off the table is not true.
But sometimes it is, and also
it makes them screen.
Yeah,
which is nice.
But like, imagine a world where me, Iron Hand player McGee, has Sternguard and pods and Devs and pods and Invictors. And they're like putting out their crude screens, and then I go first. I'm like, oh well, I've got Dev Doctrine next turn, so your crude are dead.
No, that's what I'm saying. It makes you're not going to actually hit their key resources.
Not turn one,
but it makes them screen. And as a shooting army, you do like to just pick up screening units that like try and fill the board so you can't drop pod behind them.
Yeah. And
the fact that you can drop it turns 1, 2, and 3 means they have to screen in deployment. They have to screen turn 2. Yeah, I think they're good enough. Probably Devastators and Iron Hands are better because they just get like 3 grav cannons and a multi-melta for like what 125.
Yeah, 125.
And I like the range.
I like getting both in an Iron Hand list, because 2 pods, you need something else to put in those pods. Sternguard, they're also cheap. No, it definitely, if you are waiting for a time to run drop pods, you're there.
Yes.
If you want to run a drop pod assault, 100% now's a good time to do it.
Yep. All right, $5 super chat from Matt O. Random question for John. Event this weekend. I'm wondering if it's worth adding an Astropath plus Primaris Psyker into a guard list for CP generation and secondaries.
I say yes.
Cool.
I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about the Primaris Psyker. HQ slots are still a little bit tight in a guard list.
Even in Arks of Omen?
Yeah, because you don't get a Supreme Command anymore.
Yikes.
So you already had 4 HQ slots.
Oh, I see.
Because you did Leontis and 3 slots, and now it's like, because you want Leontis, you kind of want Creed, and then you want a Tank Commander, and you're like, oh wow, Command Squad, and I'm out.
I do like having the Command Squad have character. If you add an Astropath to it, I believe it's a Psyker character can do the actions.
Funny you should mention that. Why, yes, it is.
And then you put an Ogre and Bodyguard in the front, and it's one of the most durable, stupid models in the entire game.
Yeah, there is now slightly enough snipers that I am willing to put an Ogre and Bodyguard in. And I hate that.
Well, it's also, if you take Warp Ritual, he just walks to the center and is like, are you really dealing with Ogre and Bodyguard with 5-up Feel No Pain, -1 damage, like 6 wounds and a 4-up invuln?
7 wounds.
7 wounds?
I think he's 7.
I think Nork is 7.
Oh, maybe Nork is 7, yeah.
But like you go to the center and you start casting Warp Ritual, and you're like, are you really going to deal with that while I have 6 Lehman Russ or whatever running you down? And the answer is no.
Yeah, no, that is a real thing. All right, and finally from Lewis Patton, we got a $5 super chat. Triptide, meme or meta?
Meta.
Yeah, Triptide is still pretty darn good. I think Triptide will probably be where Talist goes, because not everyone's going to keep the planes.
It's going to be dub or Triptide, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. It doesn't have to be triple.
Yeah, you can even see single, but I like, if one's good, 2 is better, is usually how 40k works.
And Tau took, it's usually true, and Tau took some nerfs, but also the meta, I think, has slightly toned down overall. So I think Tau will still have plenty of options to be a strong army.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably a little bit lower than before, but still a perfectly playable one.
I would personally experiment with cutting crisis suits because whether that turns out to be the answer or not, they have just been a cancer that has been growing and metastasizing inside of Tau lists, where slowly they take over the entire list until there's nothing else left. Yeah, because it's all
crisis suits.
It's all crisis suits or crisis suit accessories. And then if you experiment with trying to cut them, you get a lot more stuff. Whether that ends up being the correct answer is up to, the Tau gods or whatever.
All right. Well, we're down to 2 units left. And
these ones got real good.
I'm curious if anyone in the chat thinks that they could call what the top 2 slots are.
The top 1, I think people can call.
I think people will call the top 1. I think people, when we reveal top 2, they'll be like, oh, no, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, the number 2 is the hard one to guess, and it's coming up pretty soon. If you have a guess, put it in the chat right now.
While we talk about the super chat. Colin Stapleton in Arks of Omen Knights. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Is it worth dropping an Armiger to fit an Assassin or an Inquisitor? My take on that is no.
No.
Awkwardly enough, this is something I absolutely hate. You kind of make your secondaries worse with by taking those, because you know how you're supposed to hold half or more of the objectives with a knight model? You have to hold half or more of the objectives on the table and every one of them with a knight model.
Yeah.
Which means if you hold 3 objectives, 2 with knights, 1 with an Inquisitor, you lose it. And if you hold all 5 objectives on the table, 4 with knights, 1 with an Inquisitor, you don't get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just don't like allying people into knights. I like allying knights into people.
Also, if you take a psychic secondary, the general rule of thumb is if you're planning to take a psychic secondary, take 2 psychic characters. Mm-hmm. Because what'll happen is your opponent will hard commit to try and pick out your 1 psychic character to give you a 0 on your secondary. If you have a second one, if you have a backup, they won't do it. Yeah. And then you are actually able to score your points. So just taking an Inquisitor, especially in an army that can't like physically surround them with models, is just begging for that Inquisitor to just eat like a truck boy unit to the face and die.
I'm waiting for Jack to finish his Inquisitor rant so I can drop the bomb.
No, I want to read down. Did anyone get it?
No, but Inquisitors don't exist, so continue. There are no rules for Inquisitors.
Yeah. They became illegal as of January 1st, but I assume when they become reintroduced in some way in like 2027 or whatever.
Yeah.
No, Inceptors are good guess, but that is not the.
But the other one has not been reached yet.
It has not,
and now seems like a time to switch over. Boom, the Talon Master.
The Talon Master is bananas.
I am known to be a Talon Master aficionado. As a matter of fact, I've run 3 of them on our streams multiple times, and I do love me some Talon Masters.
I'm about to run 2 tomorrow, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit cheaper, just a little bit.
I think they went from 175 to 160.
Yeah, 160, which I think was their original cost. I think they were 160, went up, went down, like totally. But they're at a good place because they're awesome now. Not only do they absolutely love a little bit of a points drop, not only do they absolutely love Devastator Doctrine.
In multiple ways.
So many ways. Not only are they made of heavy weapons, love advancing and shooting, love an invuln if they ever get, accidentally sniped. They also love being faster. They love going from, 16 to 19-inch movement with these gunboat characters
the
that
ability
can advance and shoot.
Advance and shoot, yeah. And then all their guns go from AP1 to AP2, and now Armor of Contempt is gone, so that's like AP3 into a lot of armies, if you think about it. And, it's just a lot of firepower. It's a lot of firepower in Devastator Doctrine, my dude. And their points went down, and they shoot really hard.
And the Arbiter's Gaze even ignores the hit modifier for advancing and shooting.
Yeah.
So
that guy's advancing every turn.
Just love me some Talon Master. Just couldn't be happier.
Outside of Precision of the Hunter, dude, who, by the way, is very comparable to the Arbiter's Gaze guy. These guys are just better Cold Stars. Like, outside of the guy with Precision of the Hunter, these things move faster, shoot harder, and are more durable, too, just for the record.
I accept.
And are cheaper.
I would love to get a Cyclic Ion Blaster in there, but I am happy with what I've got.
Cold Stars don't get Cyclics.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, they're faster, cheaper, hit harder, and are more durable.
Ugh. Love
Eat
me.
your heart out, Cold Stars. It's friendship ended with Cold Stars. Talon Masters are my new best friend.
I feel like the Power Sword's also important.
Sure.
Why?
You can give him Heavenfall Blade if you really feel like it.
I don't think you can.
You can.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It specifically says you can give it to a unit of their vehicle. Yeah.
Still. Anyways, Talon Masters are amazing. 2 of them in every list. 3 of them is an option that I don't think you need because Space Marines have plenty of good options.
But oh my god, they move 21 inches, advance and shoot if you feel like it. My dude, they're so fast. You just table people.
I am in love with Talon Masters. No other way around it.
They're so good.
Just so pleased with these absolutely wonderful boys.
Also, they can just turn off cover.
Yeah, no, they also turn off cover in their characters.
And their lieutenants.
Like, so good. So good. All right.
Yeah, as I said, friendship ended with Cold Star. Talon Masters are my new best friend. I am planning some really fun Custodes bikes conversions for these guys because I want to get Samael plus Custodes bike Talon Masters flying around a battlefield near you.
There you go. Well, there's one left.
Let's do it. And this one is kind of the obvious one.
This is an obvious one. It's Plasma Inceptors.
Not Bolter Inceptors. They literally only got worse.
No, it is simply the Inceptor with Plasma. Because Plasmas went from 20 points to 0 points. So that means that the Inceptor with Plasma went from 60 points to 40 points.
Yep. There is actually nothing else that changed about this unit.
Yeah.
But that will tell you how good a 50% or 50% points reduction is.
And this is the same...
Or a 33%.
So funny enough, this is the same percentage discount that Aggressors got.
Yes.
But Aggressors were better than Inceptors before.
Yes.
But now Inceptors are better than Aggressors.
Yes.
And that is just because, one, Inceptors love Armor of Contempticon because these are marine murder machines.
Yeah, all they do is kill Marines.
All they do is kill Marines. And they simply don't stop doing it.
They don't like regular Marines somehow getting a 4-up in cover against them.
Yeah, no, that's all gone.
Yeah.
Plasma Inceptors, they're not... Funny enough, they may not be seen in either of the two top Space Marine armies. Because we think weird. Iron Hands don't really benefit them much. And then Ravenwing, if you go pure Ravenwing instead of a mixed Dark Angels, they're great in mixed Dark Angels.
I think, in Dark Angels, they are absurd.
But in Ravenwing, you don't necessarily need them.
But you don't actually need the benefit of Ravenwing, of being full Ravenwing. I don't think you do.
No, it's just they go really well with Azrael.
They do go really,
and like
really
once
well
you buy Azrael, you're not really going full Ravenwing anymore.
Yeah, in mixed Ravenwing / Greenwing, I think they're insane.
Absolutely, they're great.
They go +1 damage.
They're god tier in White Scars. Because you can advance without penalties. Love that.
They break specifically the Ravenwing thing about giving bike squads objectives secured and outriders, neither of which you're taking because bike squads are the same price point as Black Knights, so get out of here with that.
Just hate that. Yeah. Just hate that they chose that.
The Ravenwing thing, breaking that really doesn't matter that much. You can if you want to.
It does not.
You also just run out of fast attack slots, so like there's just no way you put in bikes.
No,
are you putting bikes in over Land Speeder Vengeance, Storm Speeders, or attack bikes? You are certainly not doing that.
Yeah, one of the best things about Black Knights is the fact that they are elites.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially I get 9 fast attack slots because these ones are mislabeled. Yes. Great.
Yes.
But Plasma Inceptors are absolutely lovely. They are going to be good. They are a fast attack slot. They're going to be good in almost every chapter. They're amazing in Death Watch. They're great in White Scars. They're really effing good in Dark Angels. Even Ultramarines and Salamanders also really like having them. Basically, everyone except Iron Hands wants them. I even think Blood Angels could easily slot them in because they just go fast.
You can.
You don't have to, but
you don't have to, but they are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like them as a unit. They are, crisis suits you got on Wish, but like for 40 points per model, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Because crisis suits come in at 85 points a model when you kit them out, and more now, I guess. You
probably could, honestly.
Yeah, and then you can buff these things past that. Like they're very, very good.
No, I am just super, super happy with Plasma Inceptors. They just make me feel warm and fuzzy right as I roll a 1.
Yeah, they love turning that gun on themselves like real fast.
Every once in a while, I do be like that. But still,
it's also always on the first one you roll. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, these are the first ones, dies, you're like second gun lost. I'm like, sad.
WTC rolled that you just roll them both at the same time, which is actually kind of nice because it'll make it half as slow.
Yeah, it was miserable. I mean, what you had was color coded dice, is what you did, right?
Yeah, but like still painful. Anyways, I'm pretty happy about Plasma Scepters, and they're the last unit on the list.
Yeah, I mean Alex was saying he didn't hear him in Raven Guard in that rattle off of like what can use them well. Mm-hmm. If you are a Space Marine chapter, you can use them well.
Yeah, Raven Guard can absolutely do it too. Raven Guard likes to sit in Tactical Doctrine, and they like Tactical Doctrine because they're assault weapons.
Yeah,
get a little extra AP on those boys.
I built a list that had 33 of them, I think, in Death Watch.
Yeah. Why not?
Is it good? Maybe. I don't know. You take the shield of everyone as a 5-up invuln, and then you just take 33 Plasma Scepters. Why not? Half of which, by the way, are objective secured.
Beautiful. We've got one last super chat here from Connor McCoy. Thank you so much, Connor, with his $5 super chat. As a Chaos Space Marine Iron Warrior, where are my points drops? Are Hellbrutes worth the cost with the elite slot opening up a little bit? Genuinely, I do think that Iron Warrior Hellbrutes are worth at least taking a hard look at. They are cheap.
Legionaries got a lot of
Legionaries got a lot of points drops, and I think that's where Iron Warriors would want to go.
And also, you shouldn't have forsaken your vows to the Emperor if
Also
you wanted
yeah.
points drops.
Yeah,
You know,
no, that's fair.
Yeah.
There is some punishment for Magnus doing things wrong. But anyways, with Iron Warriors, I do actually really like taking that aura of Countess Stationary on a Demon Prince who gives no real ones, having cheap Legionnaires with free war gear so that you get 1 free chain cannon per squad. They kind of like Marquezine, should be a little more durable.
A little more shooty.
A little more shooty. They get half, because you get a free icon for +1 AP on your guns. You get half of Armor Contempt back, the lower half.
Which is where it's most effective.
Yeah, it's nice to have, certainly. Yeah. So I think you can get all kinds of good value out of Iron Warriors still. I think they're one of the better legions.
Yeah.
I think Nick is going to try to play Iron Warriors on stream soon. I don't know if he has yet, but I want to see them on stream. So if he doesn't, I will take that up myself.
He will. He wants to, for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got a £5 super chat from Davstow.
Mm-hmm.
For reasons I don't understand, I'm building an Ultramarines list. Other than Inceptors, which should the backbone be? Feel free to get me excited about it. John, go nuts.
One, you should check out Fix My List later this week. At least one Ultramarine guaranteed. Because that's going to be in 2 days.
It is going to be.
One Ultramarine guaranteed, Jack.
Yeah.
We're making it happen.
Thursday morning, Fix My List.
Invictors!
Yes.
Invictor Warsuits and Ultramarines are awesome. Ultramarines have a Tactical Doctrine buff, but you're never going to get there because you're playing this game in Dev Doctrine. And
that's definitely a thing where you look at what your army says it wants to do and you're like, no, you're doing this.
No, you're a Dev Doctrine army, don't worry. You can get some really good guns. Like, just gonna be honest here, you can just get a lot of good guns in Ultramarines because they're a Space Marine chapter. So take all the things you would in Iron Hands, but instead enjoy redeploy. Maybe enjoy better named characters if you want to go pure, or just go successors. It's always solid. The Ultramarine secondary is actually not bad now. It's a better version of banners, which I like.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's 4 points.
Better banners is a place where
it's
nobody's
4
really
points for every objective you do an action on, and you do have to complete it in your next command phase. But it's 4 points for every one, even if it's in your deployment zone. So on some missions, it's just like 12.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's not always good. Sometimes you just raise the banners, but it's actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
So I think that Ultramarines, you can do a lot of forward deploy with Infiltrators, Invictors. I think you can go for a ton of just generically good shooting units like Gladiators and Storm Speeders. I think Suppressors are actually pretty decent at Ultramarines, especially if you ever end up wanting to go Tactical Doctrine. I actually think you can go pure and just toss like Marnius Calgar in, because Marnius Calgar is cheap and he gives you +2 CP, and a huge thing with Ultramarines is that you really want to end up at 2 CP after all of your pregame.
So you can redeploy.
And having either a Guilliman or a Calgar in there to help with that is a big deal.
It's also very nice to have CP regen on the end of that, so you just play with way more CP than your opponent has.
Yeah. Because Calgar +2 CP and CP regen is like real solid, because that's his warlord trait. And then you also get to facts where like, 1, you can redeploy multiple times. 2, if you have a plus CP mechanic, it really helps you fit in the forge rolled vehicles. And Ultramarines love Volkite Contemptors because they're one of the very few chapters that can give them full rerolls to wound.
You can also do the fun list where you take a bunch of Dreadnoughts and give them +2 attacks and go to town. You take a Tech Marine with the thing that gives them +1 attacks. My bad.
3 +1 attacks.
And then there's a banner that gives +1 attack, and then there's another relic you can pop that gives you +1 attack, and you just like run up to an army and be like, "You're dead!" Yeah.
No, you can do cool things with Ultramarines. We got another super chat. This one's from Dalton Peters. Do you guys think mixed wing is better than pure Raven Wing? I played a Raven Wing yesterday, and the secondary seemed annoying. Codex Warfare.
Black Knights, plus he was talking about that a little bit up earlier.
Gotcha.
He was having trouble with Black Knights and Codex Warfare, and then no banners. So here's the thing. Black Knights don't benefit from Codex Warfare, but every other gun in your army does. All the Vengeances, all the Storm Speeders, all the Multi-Meltas on the attack bikes, all of the Talon Masters, and I think even Samael's gun is heavy. All of those every kill they get is two victory points. The list I have is, or I'm playing tomorrow anyway, is 20 Black Knights, 3 Landspeeder Vengeances, 9 Multi-Melta attack bikes, 2 Talon Masters. And then, it has 20 Black Knights that will not get you Codex Warfare points, but all of the rest of it does.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that.
No banners is annoying.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
But we also just want to get that on the table more.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. I think tomorrow on this very YouTube channel, you can see Jack playing some games with some Dark Angels. So Dalton Peters, check back in with us tomorrow.
Yeah.
And see how the secondaries go for him. Maybe Jack gets a 0 on secondaries, and I get to literally dab on his crying corpse. No, you won't be the... You're the one with 0
I just
points.
I just wanted to get involved. It looked like fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But
get to be
I don't know if mixed wing is better than pure Raven. Pure Raven wing is. It's basically
it looks really good on paper.
It looks really good on paper.
But Dark Angels do love really good.
They do.
Yeah,
they do.
Caleb Emerald is super chats. Caleb Emerald is hitting us with a super chat. Any love for Castellan of the Void as Ultramarines? Castellans of the Void, I looked through it again. I like the random scout moves and forward deploys. I think that their trait is just a little bit
non-existent,
not good enough. I want to say it's like the morale one and something else. And the trait for Castellans of the Void lets me down because Ultramarines really like just getting some math going. And then from David Roebuck, Plasma Scepters with a Jump Pack Captain and Seal of Oath. Frankly, I don't think you need a Jump Pack Captain. I think a regular Captain is just fine. If you ever need an Ultramarine unit to reroll ones in a pinch, don't worry, there's a strat for that. Or Bobby G with his giant 12-inch aura of reroll ones for Imperium. Plenty good for Plasma Scepters.
Pretty good.
Seal of Oath, though, 1,000%, because it's awesome.
You just take one thing on your opponent's side of the board and go, you're dead.
Yeah. What I really want to bring back is my Volkite Contemptors with Seal of Oath. Because when you find someone who just brought a unit that you want to go to sleep, and you just get to be like, oh yeah, like super bad luck, man. One unit.
Unfortunate.
My specialty. Ah!
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, you took one big knight in your army, it's dead.
Yeah, just real hits and wounds.
Unless
and just
it's a chaos
gone.
knight. The loyal knight.
Mr. Nelson says Black Knights are an 18-man max. Is it not? They are not 3 to 6. They go up to 10-man squads, and they have combat squads. So you can take 30 and have 6 squads of 5 if you really, 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 really want. I might.
I wanted to. Like we're both getting those Black Knight stonks. We're gonna have to get those painted on the table.
Yeah, we will. We
All
absolutely
right.
will.
Well, I think that wraps us up there.
All right.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching. As always, we appreciate your support. If you enjoyed our content, if you want more of Jack's dulcet tones, maybe you should scroll down a little bit on this page. There's a like button. You might have missed it. You could even share this video with your friends. You could even subscribe. And of course, if you become a member, you can get access to the Art of War Discord. The Art of War Discord is a fantastic, friendly global community where a bunch of the top players in the world, like ourselves, Richard Siegler, Nick Nodvati, and many more, are there to help you become a better Warhammer player. And of course, the other way to get into that Discord is through the War Room. Make sure you check out theartofwar40k.com. We have a brand new refurbished website. Now's a great time to take a look at it. Maybe if you checked it out in the past, we've made some upgrades, so make sure you check it out. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll catch you next time.
Adios.